Looking fantastic as usual.
Oh, thank you. You would have never known I had a crazy allergy attack this morning. Yeah, they had to give me a shot of steroids.
No way.
Can't tell. It's great.
You're a trooper. You made it. Good job.
The swelling went down.
You just fit in with the rest of us who are sleep deprived and hung up.
Great.
So.
Yeah, we're all in the same. We're riding in the same train.
Artist, your goddess powers.
So how cool was it to actually become a goddess and just realize that you were one of the few people that could do magic?
So cool. I'm so bummed. Like, everyone's like, how do you feel about the end of season 3? I'm like, I'm perpetually disappointed. Like, I want to go back. I want it to continue. But Julia seems okay with it. But man, being a god, I don't know. Yeah, like, everybody's great.
How did you feel when you read that particular strip where Julia just gives up her goddess powers to save the others?
I was like, huh? Julia was like, great. She's like, yeah, I've got this endless supply of like, inner god-like magic. I'm gonna be fine. Everybody deserves this. And Stella was like, whoa, what do you mean? Don't do it. But yeah.
At the same time, was it kind of good to finally be able to have her end something on her own terms after all the shit that she's been through throughout the first two seasons?
Was it nice to have her?
Was it finally to get her to be able to end something on her own terms instead of having all the bad stuff always happen to her?
Yeah, I think the through line for season 3 was like acceptance for her. I think that's like what's so cool. It's like she was able to just kind of like accept everything that happened to her, and like as human beings, we have things taken from us, and then we have gifts given to us, and it's like at the end of the day, like awful, like terrible things can happen, and then trivial things can happen, and then beautiful things can happen. But at the end of it, acceptance is like the key, right? To accept where you are in the here and now, and I feel like she was able to do that in season 3. So I admire that about her. Like I feel like right on. I hope to do that. Just acceptance. That's like the daily goal, right?
Have you been reading the books at all to kind of get an idea of where?
I did read the books.
Okay.
It's so far from what they do on the show, unfortunately. I love the books.
Yeah.
But they. So I tried to like let go because you can't hang on to it because it's so different and it will never be books ever. It's just gone off on its own thing. But I like the spirit of it. That they try the spirit of it. I can't be too attached to it because it's just so different.
So the Julia that you identify in the books, you have to just kind of let that go and say she could be
Season
someone
1.
very different this season.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I tried to base the initial character off of that, and I feel like I tried to hang on and stick true to as much as I could, but ultimately it's within the writing of how they kind of change these characters and what happens to them, and it's so different from the books. But I hope that I had grasped her essence because I want to do life justice. Like, that was the idea.
Okay.
So you read the books even before you were cast?
Yes, before I signed on to do the
So
project.
you already were a fan of the books?
Yeah, I wanted to know what I was getting involved in before I got involved. I was like, I don't know.
Did you know when you were reading them which character you were going to play?
I loved Janet.
Oh.
I loved Janet, and I thought she was so cool, and I thought I would have been better fit for that. So it's funny that we wound up with Julia, and I didn't audition for Janet or anything. It was always just kind of like I had worked with Sarah about 5 years ago, and then like called back for they called me about the project. They said, "Is this something you'd be interested in?" And we read it, and we read Julia, and of course, like after reading them full fledged, she's got such an incredible. All the women are like incredible. But yeah, I think they've got some really cool, strong women.
You got to share several scenes with the fairy queen of the story arc with Brittany Moran. So I was wondering if you were hoping to spend a little more time with some other characters.
Candace Payne?
Yeah, or any other character that maybe you haven't had a chance to really interact with too much, because your storyline's always been kind of separate, but then you kind of like merged at some point. So
I would love to get to work with Hale and Elliot and Margot. We're in season 4, and Julia hasn't had one scene with either of them really. She's had moments, but maybe one little snippet, but one little scene with Margot, I think, season 2. But I've never worked with Hale. Like maybe one season.
Yeah, it's
season
like
1.
interaction and that's about it.
Yeah. It would be nice to get to work with Hale.
you've had an incredible arc as Julia, starting as almost rejected by magic in the beginning to now being like a savior of magic. So there's been a lot of maturity in the character, and how does your performance change to match that as
In what way exactly? Like in what sort of?
in your understanding of the character and what you feel you need to bring to it?
I guess I feel whatever change with no judgment, right? That's the best way to put it. To kind of like leave my judgment at the door, because even though there's times that I'm frustrated with her decisions, or I feel as Stella I'm ahead of that thinking, or sometimes behind it, like the frustration of not being linear, and then being able to like let go, and like the art of letting go, and being like, okay, I'm not gonna. This is what's happening in the separation, and I need to come at it from like an actor's perspective of no judgment, to just like exist in it without, which is hard, you know. I don't know. We're like constantly judging ourselves, right? It's bad.
So there's another version of Penny now that's like in love with Julia, but now they don't know each other.
Or do they?
Or do they? So I'm just wondering, how is that going to play into next season, or if Julia's even going to, if they eventually, you know, remember who they are, is she going to take that chance or what?
Did you ever play that game when you were younger, like, am I hot or am I cold? Like, you're hot, hotter, hot, hot, like Marco Polo, Marco Polo. You're like, you're hot. You're really hot. You're very hot. Like, you're close. You're like on to something. Maybe. You're like burning up.
There you go.
That's all.
That was a good one.
That was good, right?
Yeah.
And kind of like didn't give anything away, but
I mean, if you don't know the game, then
then you have no idea.
I like that. I appreciate it.
Guys, you have to wrap up here.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Feel better.
So much.